Hey everybody, Ryan here at etrailer. Today on our 2021 Toyota Highlander, we're going to be checking out the Hollywood Destination 4 platform style bike rack. So first impressions of the rack on the back of the Highlander, you know, it's big. There's really no way around it. But if you want to carry around 4 bikes on a platform style rack, it's something you're just going to kind of have to live with. On the same note though, what kind of separates this one from some of the other platform style racks of this size is how much this one weighs. It's pretty lightweight, believe it or not, compared to, you know, how it looks, if that makes sense. So a lot of the other racks, you know, you pull them out and they're really heavy and they really take a lot of strength to kind of maneuver around and put in the hitch or take it out and so on. And that's not so much the case with this one. As I said, it's a little on the lighter side and a lot more manageable. Something that is really nice with this setup actually, even though the rack doesn't tilt down and give us a bunch of space, we're still going to be able to open up the back of our Highlander and get stuff out of it whenever we have the rack empty, and even with this center portion up. So, you know, maybe let's say you unload all your bikes, you're getting ready to go riding, and you forgot your helmet or your water inside. You know, you're going to be able to open up the hatch and get what you need right out of the back. The way this rack works is relatively simple and somewhat customizable, so you can use this to carry around a lot of different types of bikes and so on. And the way it's going to actually secure the bike is in 3 different spots. So we're going to have a strap here on the front tire, a strap here on the back tire, and then this center portion here. And this is kind of unique. This is going to wrap around the frame of your bike and help keep it secure. And we'll just check out this one here that's not being used. What I meant by customizable is, you know, this thing can be moved up and down, and the pad here can actually rotate 360 degrees. So, you know, if your frame's all the way down here and something like that, you know, you're going to be able to position this in such a manner that it'll keep everything stable. With that said though, why don't we go ahead and pull our bike off. That way we can have a better look at the rack itself. So when you're doing this, you want to start with the wheel straps. So I'll do this one first. You just push in on the lever, swing that strap out of the way. Same deal with this one here. And then when you get to the center one, you definitely want to grab hold of your bike. When we undo this, there's going to be nothing securing it anymore, and you don't want it to tip over and hit your car. So we'll pull this strap out too. And we're able to kind of work the bike out and go hit the trails. Something that you do need to think about, you know, whenever you have the rack on the back of your Highlander, is the fact that it is going to extend the overall length of it. So if you got a small garage or try to pull into a tight parking spot, you know, something you want to keep in the back of your head. With that said, to find out exactly how much, we'll measure from the bumper here to the very edge of the rack. And it looks like it's going to extend it about 41 inches. Now this can be stored in an upright position, but in order to do that, you know, these center portions are going to have to be folded down. Not really a huge deal. The way they work is these T-handles here. Just simply going to loosen these up. You can take this portion and just flip it down and out of the way, and that'll allow this to move up and down. Now with these, you know, there's nothing really holding these in. So what I like to do is give this a few turns, you know, make sure it's on there good. That way it doesn't rattle around and end up coming off on accident. So we'll fold this down. It sits pretty flat. The only thing that I've noticed is the fact that there's really nothing holding this down either. So if you're hitting bumps, it might bounce around. Or when we store this upright, you know, maybe if you hit the brakes real hard, this could potentially move and hit the back of your Toyota. So to solve that issue, what I've done is you take one of these straps that you're not using, Just kind of wrap it around there. Tighten it down. That'll keep it secure that way. Once that's complete, you can then fold the rack up into that stored position. And you're gonna have a pen here. Pop that out. And there's gonna be a knob on this side. You'll turn that. Then you're able to fold this up. And you know, if you're gonna be traveling with it like this, you definitely want to reinstall this portion here, put the pin and clip in, that way, you know, you have nothing to worry about. And in this position, it went from a relatively large bike rack to a pretty compact one actually. Looks like the furthest point is probably gonna be the ends here. And so we'll take that same measurement, go from our bumper to the very edge. Looks like it's gonna be right at 15 inches, so not taking up a ton of space, and if you have it like this, you should be good to go whenever you do go to pull into your garage or that tight spot. So moving on down here, this rack is gonna work with those 2" by 2" receiver tube openings, like we have here today on our Highlander, and it's gonna come included with an anti-rattle bolt as well as a lock. That way, you know, you put this on your vehicle, you lock it down, no one can come up and run off with it. The anti-rattle bolt is going to help eliminate slop or play there in the connection point. You know, that way your rack is not bouncing around inside of the hitch and creating a whole lot of noise. So give an example of that. Say if you're going down the road, hitting some bumps, you can see that the rack is gonna move with our SUV and not on its own. So, you know, at the end of the day, a great simple way to carry around a lot of bikes. Something I do want to mention, if you don't need to carry 4, there's also a 2-bike version available as well. It's pretty much the same exact thing, more or less just cut in half, honestly. But other than that, you know, a nice bike rack that looks pretty good on the back of the Highlander. And if you're anything like me, you know, you always want to see the product you're interested in actually working or in action. So let's go ahead, load this up with some bikes, take it out on a test course and see how it does. This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement. And that'll finish up our look at of the Hollywood Destination 4 platform style bike rack on our 2021 Toyota Highlander.